Hello everyone and welcome to SQL Development Crash Course. This is your host Mohan and we are at day 20. Today we are going to learn about SQL stored procedure. In our last video we have learned about CTE. So in case if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that, and if you haven't gone through the whole series, please go and watch those videos. It will be very helpful for you to understand the SQL concept. With that, let's move to the SQL Server Management Studio. So what is stored procedure? So stored procedure, you can think of stored procedure as a one or more SQL statements, and those are pre-compiled, and that set of SQL statements we can reuse multiple times. So you can think of it like a function or a script that resides inside your database server. Okay, so we will understand more with the example. In today's video, we are going to use our employee table, select star from EMP. Let me show you what the content of this EMP table here. So we have employee ID, name, department name, salary, and the joining date. So here, if we want to select name, comma, salary, comma, joining date from EMP. You will run this statement, it will give you the required result or the output which you are expecting. But if we want to run this statement again and again, we can create a stored procedure based on this SQL statement. So what is the syntax of creating the stored procedure? We can write create procedure, and then we can give a name of this stored procedure. So for here, I will give it as employee info. Then we will use as keyword, and after that we will use begin keyword. Once our statement uh, is completed, then we will write the end. Okay, so let me see if we have stored procedures here. This is the place you can see stored procedure, where whatever stored procedures are there in the database, you can see that in the under the programmability and the stored procedures. So now we don't have any stored procedure at present. I mean, no user defined stored procedure is present here. Once we execute this statement, we will see one stored procedure here. So here we can see command completed successfully. And if I will refresh this, and I will see employee info. So this stored procedure is now in our database. If I want to call this stored procedure, or if I want to use this stored procedure, I will simply write exec and I will give the name of the stored procedure. So this is how we call the store procedure. It will give the same output which we were getting here. So we have just stored that stored procedure with some name, and we can use it multiple times. Now there is one more thing with the stored procedure. We can use parameters, input parameters in the stored procedure. What does it mean? Like if, for example, if we want to get the information about specific employee, so every time we need to make the changes and we need to write the ID of that employee. For example, here, if you see this, I will write where employee ID equals to 2. So if I want to get this data, this will be the statement. But here we can see we need sometimes we may need data of different employees. So every time you need to change the employee ID, right? So we can take this number or employee ID as a parameter, and we can store that in the stored procedure. So how we can write the stored procedure here? We can say create procedure employee ID info. I will give another name to this stored procedure as and begin. So this is a normal syntax, and here, for example, 3, and we'll end it. So this could be the normal structure of the stored procedure. But as we don't want to hard code this one employee ID, we will give this as dynamic input or the parameter. For that, we can define one parameter here. We will say employee ID. Okay, we can give any name here. We are just declaring the variable here, and I will give it as int. Now, what I will do, I will put this as employee ID. Now, what will happen when you run this stored procedure? It will ask you for entering the employee ID, and once you enter the employee ID, it will display the result. Okay, let me run this. Here you can see we have this in the stored procedure, employee info. Again, we have multiple ways to run the run the stored procedure. Here we can see exec employee info. I will rename this to, yeah. Now, if I will run this, it will not work because we don't have the parameters. We did not give the parameter here. So I can give one here, and let's see. Here it gave the information about the employee ID. One, I can give 7. It will give the detail of that particular employee. So if we have any requirement where we need to check the information about particular employee, we can take that as an input parameter, and we can define our stored procedure. One other way to execute the stored procedure is through the database itself. I can say right click, and here will say execute stored procedure, and here we will give the value. For example, here if I will give 10 and click OK, it will be opening in a new query window, and it will give the value of that particular employee ID. So this is how we use parameters in stored procedure. Now, if you have the requirement where uh, you want the details of employee as per the department, so we can do one thing. We can alter the stored procedure. We can create a new stored procedure. But for our example, I will show you how you can alter the existing stored procedure. Here I will say alter procedure. The name will be same, and instead of employee ID, I will write department name. Okay, and this I will give here. Okay, now if I will execute this alter statement, then this is executed here, and we can simply run sp underscore help text, and we can give the name of this stored procedure. When we run this statement, this query sp underscore help text and the name of this particular stored procedure, it will give the text of this one, the stored procedure. Here we can see it is now showing as department name and the EPT name. I think I have missed something. Department name would be varchar, not the int. So for example, I will give 50 here, and I will again alter the stored procedure, right? And now you can see it has changed to varchar. Okay. In here, if I will run this now, it will not give any, it will give the this one error because we did not give any name here. And here if I will give HR in single quotes as is a string, it will give you the name of all the employees who are in the HR department. I can also change it to admin, and it will give the name of all the employees who are in the admin department. So this is another way of using the stored procedure. We can alter the stored procedure, and if sometimes what happens if you close this window, right? If you close this window and you want to know what is the text of my stored procedure, you can simply write sp_help text. It will give you the stored procedure text. Other way of doing this is we can simply modify the stored procedure. It will give you the text what you have used in this stored procedure, right? Okay. Now we will show another example of stored procedure where we will be using the joining date. So here, oh sorry. So here, if we have this table, and if you want to have employees who joined before 2020, you can again create the stored procedure according to this data. I will write create procedure, and I will give name as EMP joining info. Okay. And again, I will give joining date as our variable, and I will give it as date. And after that, I need to write the as, and we will write begin here, and we'll write select star from EMP where joining date equals to, we can give this variable here. Remember, the variable data type should be the same. So here it is a date type variable. This one date type parameter data types, and we have given joining date here. And now we can write end here. Let me create this. It is done. And here I will again execute, and I will give the name of the stored procedure. So now we need to give the information as per the data type. So here data type is date. So that is why I have given the information in the date format. Here we don't have the, I think I have missed something. 01/01/2020. Let me see if I want to write server. Okay. So here we have given equal, so that is why it is not giving any result here. So we will do one thing. We will just alter our stored procedure here, and instead of this, I will write joining date is greater than this one. Then it will solve this problem here. If I will again execute the stored procedure, it will tell you, it will show you the name of all the employees who have joined after that. We also can give the example here. We can also give less than this, and we can alter the stored procedure. Then if I will execute this, it will give you the information about all the employees who have joined before 1st January 2020. So this is another example, and here we can also create stored procedure with multiple parameters. So here, if I will want to alter this stored procedure and I want to give another parameter, so here joining date will be the same, and here I will give another parameter, that is salary. And salary will be in int. I will put it as int, and here I will give where joining date is less than this joining date, and I will write and salary is greater than this salary. Okay, let me alter this. Select a start from employee where joining date is greater than joining date, and okay, I have not pushed here this one. Okay, now this is created, and if I will go here and if I will try to execute the stored procedure from here, it will ask for two parameters. One is the joining date, other is the salary here. 0101 2020, and here I will give the salary. So for example, I will write 80,000. So now we will get all the employees here. Salary is greater than 80,000, and you can see all the details are present here. So this is how we can create a stored procedure with multiple parameters. Okay. Now, if I want to make it more dynamic, because now if I will execute this stored procedure without any value, it will give you the error, right? Here we can see if I will execute this, it will give you error, and because it is expecting a parameter joining date, and other parameter is salary. This is what it is expecting, which we are not supplying, so it is giving error. Now if I want to if you want to make this stored procedure more dynamic, we can hard code the date here. For example, here date, I will write where date equals 01/01/2020, right? And here instead of salary, I will give salary here 60,000. And now if I will alter my stored procedure, and if I will if I will execute this stored procedure again, it is not asking me for the input parameter because we have hard coded it. So but now here it will, if you run without any parameter, it will give the result as per this detail which we have hard coded. And there is one more thing we can do here. We can give any parameter as well, and that will react as, or that will give you result as per that parameter. So here for example, I will give 2023, and here salary I will give 80,000 for example, or yeah, 80,000. Now if I will run this, it will give all the details as per this one. It is giving the details of employee who are earning more than 80,000. So this is another way of making the stored procedure more dynamic. So this is it about the stored procedure. Few things I want to tell about the stored procedure, why we use it, and what is the advantage of using stored procedure. First thing, it will improve the performance of the code. And why it will do, because for now if I will execute any statement, for example this one, select a star from EMP where joining date is this and salary is the salary. Okay, now if I will execute this stored procedure, every time SQL Server will check for the execution plan, it will, it will check for the syntax. So syntactic, semantics error, everything it will check every time you run the code. If your code is bigger, then it will again take resources to compile that whole code. But in case of stored procedure, those are compiled once, and it is stored in the database. So every time when you run the code, run the stored procedure, when you call the stored procedure, it will not recompile that stored procedure. Only thing is when you are altering the stored procedure, that time only it will recompile. Otherwise, whenever you are calling the stored procedure, so it will not recompile the code again and again. So this is the biggest advantage of using the stored procedure. And this is a reusable component of the code. We can reuse it multiple times. We can call it inside a code as well. So these are some of the examples. These are some of the advantages of a stored procedure. I hope you have got some information or some idea about what is those stored procedure are. Those are a very powerful tool used in SQL development. So these are some simple examples which I have given to you. And once you start practicing, or once you get the logic of the code written, it will be very easy, and you can easily grab the stored procedure which are having the hundred of lines. So it is this is it for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.